Okay, so they enjoy a lot about this. So about your experience, you can think about whether this is true for you. Do you enjoy this aspect of online learning? Okay, you can think about it. And then maybe also let me know or send your message. So that is the number one, the first place. The second, you can see that flexibility is about 1/3, 33.5%. It's very flexible. And I also find it very flexible as well. Okay, so do you agree? Okay, do you feel that if we conduct the same survey with teachers in Indonesia, you will also have something similar results? Okay. So the third question. In your opinion, what have been the main challenges for teachers in switching to online or distance learning? So each participant can choose up to 5 options. All right, let's see which is the most difficult, the biggest challenge for this European sample of teachers. Now, look at the second part here, pupils' access to technology. Almost half of the participants tend to agree that pupils' access to technology or lack of access to technology is the main problem. Now, do you have the same problem as well? The same issue? Okay. Same thing. Is it a similar? Then let's see which is the second one. The second one actually right below. Can you see that? Increased workload and stress working from home. Do you feel more stress working at home? Do you feel that working at home is more stressful? You have more work to do. You have more things to mark. You have more things to coordinate. Okay, do you think that is the case? All right. So almost half as well, almost 43%. Okay, 43.3% of European teachers felt that way too. Okay, and coming up very close is keeping all pupils motivated and engaged. Wow, do you agree as well? This is the same challenge. How do we make students engage in learning online? Okay, so I would say these 3 are the greatest challenge. Pupils' access to technology, keeping pupils motivated and engaged, and increase workload and stress. Okay, so when you face these kind of challenges, do not worry, because many other teachers around the world are also facing the same challenge. They also have the same problem. They have the same issue as well. And therefore, this is where we can learn. We can learn to create new material or new techniques to teach and engage students online. Okay. Next, what would help? What will most help teachers to support online learning during the school? So this is a question whereby if the school were to close and teachers have to teach online because of a lockdown, COVID-19 lockdown, then what kind of support do they need most? Now you can take a look at the bottom, the second point from the bottom. More free resources and tools from education technology companies. Do you agree? Okay. Some of these education technology companies could be Microsoft, could be Google, there could be other technologies as well. And teachers hope that more support will be given. Okay, so of course, we do not know what kind of support they want. Maybe more training resources, more worksheets, more materials, maybe. Okay. Next part, teachers from that country also felt that government ought to play a stronger role. You can take a look at the third point from the top, clear guidance from the Ministry of Education. That point came in a close second place at 41.4%. So many teachers also felt that more ministry support or more government support is needed. Okay, and finally, the third part, the third most important thing, professional development. Okay, quick courses on online teaching. So this is what we are doing here today. Okay, sharing ideas, sharing knowledge through online classes. Okay, professional development, clear guidance, and free resources from education tech companies. These 3 are the most important points. Okay, do you agree as well? Okay, do you have similar things, or do you find that other points here are more important as a support? What do you think? Okay, if you have any comments, just write them down. Of course, write in English so that I can understand. Okay, let me see. What is the chat? Okay, so far nothing, right? Okay, so far nothing. Just write them down. You can't really read Bahasa. All right. Next one. Question 5. In your opinion, due to the current circumstances created by COVID-19 virus, when schools fully reopen, will online or distance teaching remain part of the school practice? So what do you think? Okay, let's say one day the world is clear of COVID. And then maybe will schools still rely on online teaching? Will online teaching become a you can see that flexibility. Okay, that is what we are here to find out. So let's see. 44% of teachers felt that school will be a little bit different with more online learning than before. Okay, so in Singapore itself, right, even though students come back to school to study, now the ministry is also implementing very frequent home-based learning. That means maybe once per month or maybe once or twice per month, students will have to learn online. Okay, so that I think will increase. Okay, online learning or distance teaching will increase as well. What about Indonesia? Okay, do you think this will happen in the country? Will online teaching be more prevalent? The biggest challenge for these so 31% of teachers, 31.9 or close to 32% felt that the school will return to its original practice. That means as before. Okay, nothing will change, but only minor changes will occur. Okay, what do you think? I think it would be interesting if we actually create a poll. Maybe Mr. Baharudin can create a poll and survey the teachers around here. Okay, survey these 100 over teachers in our lesson, in our workshop, and from there we discover what do Indonesian teachers think and whether there are there differences or similarities. Okay, yes. All right. So respondents felt that, okay, so in conclusion from that survey, more education resources will help them meet the challenges. Now, it is true, there's a lack of educational resources focusing on online learning. However, of course, during the last few months, more of such resources are created and curated as well. I will discuss a lot about them later on. Okay, next, clear guidance from the Ministry of Education is important. So government role is still very important for this change to online learning. Next, number 3, professional development such as short courses. So we ought to have more such courses to share ideas with each other. Okay, and not only just to share ideas, we also have to support each other and show our support and concern for each other, so that we know that whenever we face a problem, we are not alone. Okay, likely other people are also facing the same problem as us. Next, number 4, opportunities for teachers to share resources, ideas, and challenges. Yes, that is very true as well. We need to be more connected. So last time, teachers in Singapore connect with each other, teachers maybe in Indonesia connect with each other, but now I am seeing a lot of global connection. So teachers from Singapore can connect with Indonesia, can connect with Europe, okay, can connect with USA, and so on. And we can share ideas and best practices. So do you agree that all these are the things that will help you? Okay, what other things, what other support would you like to see? Okay, you can type in the chat if you would like to see other kinds of support. Type in the chat, okay? Or if you have other better ideas, also type in the chat, and then we can go through them later. Okay. So all clear so far? Okay. So is it insightful to see what European teachers think? Okay. Okay, all good. Okay. So the second part is problems and solutions from my personal experience. So I'm going to share with you about my experience teaching online. Okay, and many of these experiences, of course, happened this year. So problems from my experience. What are the common problems? To me, there are 5 key issues, and the first issue is distractions. Okay, do you find it difficult to teach online? At the fundamental level, at the basic level, it is difficult to teach online. For example, if I'm teaching, somebody else is doing something, or imagine if you have a class of 30 students, not all students will have a conducive environment, a comfortable environment to study online. Some students might have a very noisy household background, very noisy household environment. Okay, or some students might not have good technology, so their Wi-Fi might be breaking all the time. Okay, so there are distractions all the time. Okay, next one, scheduling problems. It is sometimes difficult to keep up with schedule, or to schedule our classes, or to schedule assignments. Sometimes we can post the schedule out there clearly, but students struggle with the schedule. Okay, do you have all these problems as well? Okay, do you encounter the same thing? Next, poor online training content. So I thought that was the most important part, especially if we have to train using content made for classroom environment, but adapted for the online environment. So some kind of content or some types of activities are better for the classroom environment, but when you translate it to online environment, it becomes very different. Okay, so we need to continuously adapt this content. Next one, technical issues. So whenever we are dealing with technology, technical issues always happen all the time. And finally, learners being left behind. Okay, so some students are more adept in learning online. Some students struggle to absorb information online, and some students struggle to participate online. So the fifth problem here is students are being left behind. Some students will learn a lot and will pull ahead from the rest, and some students will struggle. Okay, and it is very difficult to balance out this part here. Okay, do you agree with these issues as well? Hmm? Do you have the same issues? Do you meet with some of these problems? Okay, so first one, distractions everywhere. How do we solve such an issue? How do we counter such a problem? Okay, now there are a few ways. The first way is to ensure, okay, that you and the students have a quiet room or dedicated working space. For example, in my room, I have a dedicated corner just for doing online teaching and online learning. Okay, and in this room itself, no one can access my working space. So for example, when I'm teaching right now, my room is locked and nobody can come into this room. So I can teach with a peace of mind. All right, and it is better if you encourage your students to also have the same practice. Okay, sometimes try to have a dedicated corner or put the table or arrange the furniture in a way that when they look into the camera or when they look in the laptop, no one else can disturb them. Okay, one of the ways is to put the laptop facing the wall. That means when they are looking at the laptop, their eyes are also on the wall. So it is they are less likely to look in the living room area. In contrast, if you put the laptop, okay, if you put this laptop facing the living room, then your students can see what the other family members are doing, and sometimes they can get distracted. Okay, so you must try to teach them and encourage them how to set up the furniture in such a way that it helps in their learning. Okay, in my class, I did that. So before I start my first online